Space, the final frontier.
The Smithsonian Institution is a much bigger facility than what you see with Air and Space. They'd always had the occasional air-related exhibit. I mean, that's some of the first stuff that they collected. But the impetus for a national air museum really comes from General Hap Arnold in the years immediately after the Second World War, because he was looking for an independent Air Force and to be able to have a collection of aircraft both from ourselves, our allies, and the people that we were fighting was an important way of sort of demonstrating the concept of what air power could do in, you know, a salvageable form. You know, you've got all these airplanes, and that's the start of the air collection. Parts of these were displayed in other Smithsonian museums, and it wasn't until 1976 that the one opened downtown, and that's been there ever since. Even when they built that particular museum, they knew that it was never going to hold more than about 10% of the collection, and it wasn't going to hold the larger stuff that we had in the collection, like Enola Gay right here. Other stuff was going to fly in because aviation history is not going to come to a standstill. So they were looking for a place as a subsidiary location that was always going to be close to an airport.
I just love this place. It's probably, it's the closest of a big air history museum that we have in this area. I know there's a lot of others over the country, up in Ohio. You know, I know there's a big one up in Ohio, and there's one down in Texas, but they're a little bit too far to travel. This is close. I've got my favorites from World War II. The Corsair from the Navy is my favorite Navy plane, and the P-51 and the P-47 and the P-38 are my favorites from the Army Air Force, as they called it back then.
Each of these is a starting point for a greater story, and that's why it's important to me, and that's why I think it serves a valuable function in that sense. In terms of the community, it's kind of nice to be able to take your kids down for the weekend and wander around, because I mean this is little boy heaven, although there are a couple of little girls that kind of like it as well. It's always surprising to see who that you pop through here. As it becomes more and more known, it's starting to be a definite destination. So you can see people that have traveled all the way here just to come to this place. One of the best decisions they made is to have an airport shuttle that runs from Dulles down here. So you've got a lot of people that are like, well, I'm going to sit here for 3 hours at Ben & Jerry's, or I can go and see some airplanes, and they shuttle on down. We get a lot of Japanese visitors for reasons that you understand. A lot of airplane buffs come here because a lot of times we've got the last remaining example anywhere in the world. So it's taken on multiple levels of meaning. So it's a valuable addition both to the Smithsonian and to the community.